Welcome to this video on Azure DevOps. In this first series on AZ400, we are going to start with design and implement source control. In this session, we will cover the fundamental of source control in Azure DevOps, including what it is, the difference between Git and TFVC, and why version control is a crucial part of DevOps. So let's get started. So what is source control? Well, also known as version control, it's a system that tracks changes to code over time. It allows multiple developers to work on the same project while maintaining a history of modification. This is essential for collaboration as it ensures that changes are documented and reversible if needed. By using source control, team can avoid conflict, work on different features simultaneously, and also improve the quality of our code. So what is exactly the difference between Git and the TFVC? So Azure DevOps supports two primary types of version control system, Git and TFVC, which means Team Foundation Version Control. And actually TFVC is a legacy, and in most of the organization project you will see that TFVC is actually disabled, but some company and organization are still using that. So Git is a distributed version control system, and each developer has a local copy of the repository, enabling them to work offline and also commit changes locally before pushing them to a shared remote repository. Git also supports branching and merging, making it ideal for modern DevOps practices, as you can see. On the other hand, TFVC is a centralized version control system. It follows a check-in, check-out model where all the code changes are tracked in a central repository. TFVC is often used in legacy applications, as we mentioned before, but Git has become the industry standard due to its flexibility and efficiency. So why version control is essential in DevOps? Well, version control plays a critical role in DevOps for several reasons. The first being it enables team collaboration by allowing multiple developers to work on the same code base without overwriting each other's work. Second, it tracks all changes, making it easy to identify when a bug was introduced and revert to a stable version if needed. And this we can see it in a lot in production system, and we will hopefully in the future session see an example. And the third reason is that it integrates with CI/CD pipeline, which automate testing and deployment, and thus ensuring a smoother release process. Last but not least, it enhances security and compliance, as all changes are recorded, providing accountability and a sort of traceability. So by implementing version control effectively, organizations can streamline their development process and reduce error by improving software quality. So that concludes our introduction to source control. We've covered the basics of source control, explored the difference between Git and TFVC, and discussed why version control is essential in DevOps. So what we're going to do next, we are going to do a short demo where we are going to set up our Azure repo. So we are going to first create an Azure DevOps project, then we are going to initialize a Git repo in Azure repo, and then configure repository permission. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep watching. So once you sign to your Azure DevOps, you will have access to your organization profile. So this is your organization profile with your URL, and from here you can create multiple organization. So let's click the URL, and here we have a dashboard with our Azure DevOps. We can create new project from here. So we are going to create one new project and call it Phoenix. We can see that visibility for public is currently disabled, so we are going to create a private repository In the advanced section, you have the version control and work item process that can be selected based on your organization workflow. So click create. And now our project is being created. Once you have your project created, you will have an overview of all the different tools of your Azure DevOps. So we go to Repo, and you will see that you have a new repo that was created with the same name of your project, but from here we can create a new repository, and we will give it a name of NY Repo 1. We can add a README or a Git ignore, and here you have a list of all the Git ignore for different projects. Maybe I'm not going to add any. Then you can click create. Once our project is created, we have access to all the Azure DevOps tool, especially on the repo. We can see that we have our README file that was created and initialized already. We can preview it. We have different options such as commit. We can see a list of commit, branches, and here for the commit we have our first commit. When we initialize, we have branches, which the only branch we have is main at the moment. And if we go back to repo and then go to, you can also clone, of course, and use HTTPS or SSH, which we're going to do in the future lesson. If we go back to Phoenix project and go to project setting, we will notice that we have 0 visibility option here. So what we want to do next is to enable visibility. So we go back to our organization, and then under organization setting, go to policies, click policies, and from policies we want to allow public project. By default it is off, and we want to enable it, and then you click save. Now with allow public project enabled, we can go back to our organization, select our Phoenix project, and go under project setting. We should be able to now see visibility, private or public. We're going to now create a new project, and this time we are going to make it public. So let's call our project public pub repo, and then give visibility to public, and then click create. With our pub repo project created, we can now see that our project is made public. And this is the difference with Azure DevOps. Once the visibility is public, so the project is entirely public, not the repository, which means that anybody can access it, even if they are not a member of this project or this organization. So now we have initialized our README. So we have a sample README that we can use to actually test across session. And what we're going to do, we are going to open a Incognito tab where our user is not logged in, and we are going to copy the URL of our project and then paste it into this new Incognito windows, and we will see that we are able to access the project, and not only the repository, but we have access to all the tool here within our Azure DevOps. So if we had a pipeline or a board, field or artifact, we will be able to see it. And this is the difference with GitHub, or at least with the visibility configurations within the Azure DevOps. Okay, so now let's close that and go back to our user. So we are back to our profile, and let's change it back to private. Let's go back to our project setting and then change the visibility from public to private, and then click save. Et voila. So really, what did we achieve? We created an Azure DevOps project. We initialized a Git repo in Azure Repo, and we configured a repository permission. In this series of configuring and implementing source control, we are going to continue with introducing branch strategy. We are going to configure policies and test a pull request workflow. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more Azure tutorial.